Still want to continue playing, but now it's more because you want to, because
right,
you're happy to be in this career instead of thinking that it was your only option. And now you're looking forward to after basketball as well, but it's not like you're trying to stop anytime soon.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Now for Later podcast. I'm your host, Eric Mika. Today is an Eric Mika update. I am joined by my lovely wife, Gabrielle. She's going to be leading the charge through this life update. If you don't like her, then let me know, and she will be promptly fired. Not funny? Okay. No, super excited to have her here. This is something we've talked about for a while, just doing these different updates. We've done just one of them. This will be the first one since I came home from that World Cup update in August. And we just thought it'd be fun to kind of start having people that know me really, really well on an intimate level. We, tossed around the ideas of having some of my siblings or my dad or teammates. But we thought it'd be right to start with Gabrielle. So Gabby, it feels like I'm introing you to a show, but really you're going to take over. You're going to take over and ask me a bunch of questions. But thanks for joining us, babe.
Of course. No, I'm excited to finally be on the podcast. No, just kidding. No, it's not even about me, but it's going to be fun talking about this because I already know all these updates. So it's going to be fun just talking more in depth about them. But like you were saying, I think the last update, you were talking about the World Cup. And so I think right after that, you moved down to Henderson to start the season. So how was that? Because you were traveling back to back, basically.
Yeah. From
when you went to Spain and Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So
it was a lot. Like you mentioned, right off the bat, coming home from Abu Dhabi with Team USA. I think we had a moving pod, like one of those U-Haul moving pods in our driveway. Like the day I got home, we packed it up in like 2-3 days. And then it got even crazier because we packed that all up and I think we were going to leave like on a Friday or something. And then the team said, hey, we actually need you down here on Thursday for a physical, but we didn't have the pod done. So I flew down, did my physical, flew back, got in, and then we drove down. So
yeah, you were a champ for coming back and not having me drive with the two boys by myself.
Yeah,
we brought way too much stuff. So many baby toys and I don't know, just all of JoJo's toys basically. But
I don't think we brought too much. We just brought one packing pod.
We originally had 2 pods dropped off, and then we saw how big they were. And we were like, we don't need to bring this much stuff down to Henderson.
Yeah, no.
But it worked out great.
No. But yeah, we moved right away. Then there was even more travel because then we went not straight to Singapore. We had a couple exhibition games against this Australian team. And then like a week after that, so middle of September, we went to Singapore, which was really, really far. It was a really cool place. And, this will be a big part of this update episode. We'll have to do with my knee. We'll touch on more of that later, but yeah, it was a lot to go to Singapore for me personally because I didn't even play, obviously. Well, obviously for you, not obviously for everyone listening.
Had some injuries.
Yeah, well, just one.
Just one. Multiple. Sorry, just one, an injury.
No, I'm just kidding. By the way, for anyone, you guys probably aren't going to see this video. We tried to figure out how to do this in the same room, but we have separate mics. We're still very novice at this. So Gabby is like downstairs in our building.
I'm in another room in the same building.
Conference room, which is great. So we're looking at
the last time we tried to record this, we were sharing the same mic, like a foot away. Like our faces were like a foot away to the mic.
Yeah.
Recording the same mic, but we have another mic now. So
we have another mic
a little
now.
bit better.
We'll talk about that later too. Things are moving up as far as our equipment and our toys going into season 2. But yeah, right after the games against that Australian team, I had this thing in my knee that Just
Started
started
bugging
killing.
you.
Yeah, it started bugging me, like this pain just shooting up my knee. Something I'd never felt before. So I guess we could, I don't know. Should I just dive into that, or what do you think?
You want to, yeah, maybe just throw that out there right now because you might reference it
Yeah, that's
throughout the
probably
rest of the episode. Yeah,
probably
the
the
biggest
biggest.
update right now that you're
Yeah. Well, the biggest
kind
update is
of
I had knee surgery yesterday. Um,
boom yesterday.
Boom, yesterday. Yeah. So
That's
we
it.
were trying to do this last night. As I mentioned, it wasn't really working. It was probably for the best because Gabby kept telling me that I was loopy. I really didn't feel loopy at all.
No, he comes home from having a surgery and he's like, "Hey, are we gonna film the episode like in a few hours?" But he just seems still kind of delusional to me. Like the things he was
Delusional.
saying, delusional. He just kept on going off on all these tangents or start talking about something randomly with zero context. And so I was thinking, yeah, you're still a little bit loopy. But he was doing really good for just having surgery. So
Thanks, Mama. Yeah, delusional is the word, but I've yeah. So I had a surgery yesterday. For all you orthopedics out there, I'm sure there's hundreds, if not thousands, of you listening to this. I had a bone bruise. What they found, a bone bruise in my knee, like right on my Gabby, you hate when I say this. I had a bone bruise on the tibial plateau. I just think I sound smart when I say it.
well, you just are
And
acting like
again,
some medical professional whenever you tell people about it. You're like the tibial plateau. You're like precisely on this specific bone.
if they know,
like no
if
one
they
else.
know, they're
I
gonna,
didn't know. That's true.
if they know, they're gonna know for sure. So now they know. So
Mm-hmm.
right on top of the tibia, I had this bone bruise, and they had found that it had been there for a long time, and so basically, in the last couple of years, while it's been there, it's had time to heal. Like I haven't felt it, but it's also had chances to heal. I was in a walking boot for my ankle at the end of last season. Pretty much non-weight bearing for a while. There was, wrist surgery in there at one point where I wasn't doing anything but walking around. So given that history, our team doctor said, hey, why don't we go in and perform this thing called a IOBP, which is a subchondroplasty, where they go in, obviously they scope it, they look for the cartilage, see if there's any damage in there. Gabby's looking at me like I'm an idiot because I'm trying to sound like a doctor, but
no, it's fine. I like it.
I'm just
No, you're right. There's probably people who understand this, who are intrigued.
Well, I mean, most likely no, but that's why we're here, to sound smarter than we are. But yeah, so they go in, they clean it up, check out if the cartilage was good. The cartilage is good. There's a little bit of a crack or something, which I think is normal for a basketball player. So they smooth that over. And then essentially what they do is they drill a hole in the bone, and then they take a little bit of bone, they take a little bit of blood, they spin it all around and build a nice
marrow, a little marrow in there.
Little
mix
marrow,
it all together.
some blood cells.
Shake
they
it
mix
up.
it all together, shake it up, stir it,
pour it over ice.
Pour it over ice, shake it up again, and then they just inject it right back into the knee with like this putty. Is essentially what I was explained. It's like this organic bone cement putty. There you go. I think that's what they call it in the medical books. Yeah, so they just shoot it right back in there to sort of see if it can help regrow that bone and just solidify it via what's the word I'm looking for? Give it some structural integrity. There we go.
Repurpose it.
Yeah, repurpose the bone and the blood for sure. So I'm on crutches for 4 to 6 weeks just to like really let it heal, not put any weight on there. And then after that I can get back to my rehab. So kind of tough to come back from, an end of season injury, beginning of most of the off season. I was really, really meticulous and stuck to the plan. I didn't do a whole lot, which was killing me all summer. I felt like I was extra patient, and then to start the season feeling good. The last 8 weeks of the summer, of the off season, I felt great, and like have all these expectations and goals and aspirations, having already gone through just recently an injury, and then hearing that I was going to be out for a while was a huge blow.
Yeah, you were doing everything you could in the summer to get stronger, to prepare, to heal, to rest, just to, I don't know, be at top of your game. So that is a bummer. Sorry, babe.
Bummer. It's all good. I mean, that's like, it's part of the deal. When we did record it, this just came to mind because when we did record it on the one mic, the previous version of this episode, I talked about the farmer. Is that worth bringing up?
The Chinese farmer? Or you said you didn't know if he was Chinese or not, but that's just how you were told it.
That's how I was told it. Is that worth?
Chinese?
Is that worth
you might
telling?
as well. You might as well. Because do you want to like preface why this story even came up before? Because this is unfortunate. This isn't. I think you were talking about how you're preparing. You've been preparing. You've been getting stronger. You've been training. You've been doing everything you can to have this season be to have a phenomenal season. And it's kind of a bummer that you have this knee surgery come up, and you were kind of down on your luck. Is that what you're? I think we ended. You were down on your luck.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now. I have no idea. You
were down on your luck, and you're like, and doing this podcast has made you think. It's made you feel more prepared for that next step after basketball. And then I think we started talking about the Chinese farmer.
Oh, you're saying last time.
Yeah, last time. I'm talking about. I'm talking about our conversation before transitioning into the story.
I see what you're saying. Well, I guess it's a different segue into it, but essentially the same thing. Like the moral of the story is you don't really know if something's good or if it's bad. It just is. Like
life just
things
happens.
Aren't good.
Period.
Exactly. Things aren't good. Things aren't bad. They just are. And so you take.
Or not everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. They don't have to be good. They don't have to be bad. They just exist. Life, you just moves on. And whether they're good or bad, we may never know, or we'll know a long time in the future. But essentially the story is like, there's this farmer. The way I heard it, he was Chinese. So there's a Chinese farmer and he loses a horse. Like his horse jumps the fence, runs off into this pasture, and he's long gone. And the neighbors all come around and they're like, "Oh, that sucks. Your horse is gone. Now you're not going to be able to work. Yada yada yada. Like your life is over." And he was kind of just like, "I don't know. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know if it's good. We'll see." And then the horse comes back with a friend. Brings like a wild horse that it found out there rummaging around. And now the farmer has two horses, so he can do twice the work. Rummaging around. And so now all those neighbors come around. They're like, "Wow, what a blessing. This is amazing. Now you have two horses. You can do twice the amount of work. Like, how lucky you are. This is the best thing ever." And he has the same answer. He's like, "Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Could be good. Could be bad. I don't know." Then he and his son are, they're doing twice the work. They're pulling the plows with the horses. They're able to get a lot done, obviously, doubling it. And then the son falls off the new horse, the wild horse. And he breaks his leg. And these villagers, they love coming around. They can't keep their noses out of this guy's business. But the villagers, they come around and they're just like, "Oh my gosh, that sucks. Your son broke his leg. Now he can't work. He won't be able to do this. He won't be able to help out with that, with this new, set of crops, all that." And you probably guess by now what the farmer says. He says, "I don't know if it's good or bad. It just is.
We'll see."
Yeah. Then, a war starts in their country. Time will tell. So a war starts in their country, and the recruiters come to town, and they're getting all the young, able-bodied men to come and fight this war. But the son can't go off and, presumably get injured or potentially die because he has a broken leg. So he's not an able-bodied man at that time. So then the people come around, the neighbors come, and the villagers come, and they say, "Wow, isn't that so lucky? They're going to spare your son. He doesn't have to go to battle." Right? And he has the same answer. "I don't know. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. It just is." And so I think, this is my 7th year, but just playing professionally, like a professional sport, and just in life, obviously what I can relate to is sports because that's what I do. But there's so many things you can't control. There's so many things that just happen, and you can't label them good or bad. Like whether you find out if they're good or bad later on in life, who knows? They just are. So you deal with them. You find the best in all opportunities, quote unquote good or bad, and you just move on, So I think my 7-year career has gotten me to that point and in that mentality, which I'm grateful for, which is, hey, yeah, I felt like I was going to have a spectacular season. I, was building off momentum from last year. Was really, really patient over the summer, had a lot of big plans and aspirations for the first part of the season. I'm not going to miss the whole season, but I'm out for a bit, and
Come
whether
back
it's good, whether
stronger.
it's bad, yeah, I don't know, but I'm going to take it and I'm going to come back stronger. That's just all you can do in life. And I'm
Love it.
grateful that I've gotten to that point where that's my mentality. Whereas, before it was kind of boo-hoo, woe
You'd
is
be
me,
stressed.
Yeah.
We're not
And
going to
I think
have a
that's what,
job, going to be on the streets.
right. And I think that's what you were alluding to was.
That's what I was alluding to. I thought you were trying to backtrack. Yeah.
No. But it's a perfect segue. What we were talking about was part of this attitude that I now have, and this, this approach that makes me feel a little bit better about whether this is good, whether this is bad, who knows, is this podcast,
Yeah.
And just knowing with a little bit of, not a little bit, I've done a lot, but with some planning and some effort and some consistency, I feel really comfortable with life after sports. I don't want to finish anytime soon. We've talked about where we want to go, what we want to do, and different places to play and see and experience, and living up this situation in Henderson, which we absolutely love. Like, we're going to keep playing and experiencing these things, but that perception that I've gotten definitely has been helped a lot. Or perspective, sorry, not perception. That perspective I've gotten has been helped a lot by this podcast, and just knowing like I'm more than a basketball player. I have a lot more to me, a lot more going on, a lot more skills that I can bring to lots of different things outside of basketball. If this were the end, I don't think it is, but if it were, it'd be cool because I've been planning and preparing, and so I'm my own testimonial. The first testimonial of this podcast is me myself.
Nice. Yeah, I think what you were saying, your mentality I've seen has changed. When before you were still always going to keep playing basketball, but it was more you thought you were going to keep playing because you thought you had to. I'm going to keep playing as long as I can because I have to do this because this is all I have. I mean, obviously it wasn't, but maybe this is the only thing that you thought you were good at. And then now just kind of branching out and dipping your toe into different fields or different networks, I guess you would say. It's kind of, you want to continue. Now you still want to continue playing, but now it's more because you want to, because
right.
You're happy to be in this career instead of thinking that it was your only option. And now you're looking forward to after basketball as well, but it's not like you're trying to stop anytime soon.
No, for
sure. So it's been a good mental switch.
I just think of like what you and I have gone through, like while you're talking, the times where I've been super stressed and we've been super stressed, like they just were popping into my mind. And like, I mean, how many times
I'm thinking like Serbia.
Yeah, we were cut.
Serbia,
we got injured after the season in Pesaro.
COVID, injured,
cut during, cut how many times, benched how many times. I mean, how many times have been cut? Like 6 times or something like that. The Kings cut me twice. Brescia basically cut me. I was benched in Germany for a while. I was benched in Belgrade for a while. Almost left that team.
They were trying to cut you in Belgrade. They were trying to just run
like,
you away.
Like there's
You're just stubborn staying.
And they were things that I couldn't control. They were injuries. There were new coaches coming in. They were, a million different things that I could, label as good or bad. And back then I labeled them as bad. And therefore I was super stressed. Like how many, sleepless nights and tears were shed over those situations between us two.
Yeah.
And now we find ourselves in a difficult situation, which is, unpleasant to be hurt. And go through this rehab, not put weight on your leg for 6 weeks, very uncomfortable, especially with 2 little kids. But, I think we've been kind of forged by the fire and like, we feel good. It's like, it is what it is and we're moving on. And so, very kind of grateful for the perspective I think that we've gained in this, harsh business,
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, that being said, long rabbit
That's
hole
probably the biggest
discussion.
update or the biggest
Yeah.
shift
Yeah. Biggest
since
shift.
the last update you gave. Do you want to, before you're talking about Singapore, do you want to just say like the top 3 highlights from Singapore?
Ooh, I like
I mean,
that. Look at you.
you can't, yeah, you can't just say, oh, I went to Singapore and move on. I mean, that's a really
Good
unique
point. Good
place
point.
to visit.
Yeah.
So what are the top 3
basically,
highlights?
yeah, sorry. Basically, I should give some background. FIBA, which is like the governing body of basketball for the whole world, like they do the World Cup and it, they run all the leagues over in Europe and South America and Australia and Asia, and they put on this Intercontinental Cup every year, which is like the winner of South America, the winner of the African League, the winner of the European League, the winner of the Southeast Asian League, and then I want to say winner of like a Middle Eastern League, and then the winner of the G League is what it's been traditionally. Go and have this big tournament. The G League doesn't start till much later than when they had this tournament, which was in September. Most G League teams are just coming together now, like in end of October. And so they brought us because we're the team that's in town. We're the ones that are in shape, that are playing games. So we got invited, which was really cool. Obviously, I didn't play, so it would have been a lot more fun if I got to play. But I did get to go. We played against a team from Egypt, played against a team from Brazil, and then we played against a team from the Kingdom of Bahrain. We lost the first 2, I think, by like 6 and 10 or something. I mean, very good teams, very big, physical, experienced, professional teams, which hurt me even more not being able to play because, like, I am our size. I'm like our physical presence, and so
A big boy, strong guy.
The other, I'm the big strong guy. Thanks, babe. I think they had like 29 offensive rebounds, like, which is unheard of, just because they were just bigger and stronger than our young guys, and young guys are still building and growing in that aspect. Yeah, so that was hard to just sit there and watch, but we did get the last win, and hopefully it's a big advantage going into the G League season that our guys have played 5 games. They played together. There's film for them to watch, things to improve on. So I'd say number 1 highlight is that just getting that experience for the young guys and being able to be there and help them adapt to the different game and keep their cool and use what they know. That's fun. That's why I'm here with Ignite. I think number 2 was the food. The food was really, really good.
Yeah, you kept saying that. The noodles.
Yes.
You love noodles.
Well, they have all the, I love noodles. They have all these, they're called hawker markets. I don't know why they're called hawker markets, but they just have these markets with, like, you have Thai food, Japanese food, Chinese food, Vietnamese food, like
everything.
Every Asian country had a presence, like a little, a stand in these markets. And the food, I mean, it was unreal. And it was like super cheap. You get like a big old soup and some dumplings and a side for like $6 or something like that. Yeah. It was great. It was a lot of fun. So it was cool walking around the city, obviously, with some of the staff. The players obviously were kind of resting a little bit more. Number 3, highlight number 3. Here we go. Kind of random, but one of my teammates from Pesaro, who Pesaro was our first year in Italy. Taylor Braun.
Oh yeah.
Who was my teammate for like the second half of the season. One of our guys got hurt, so he came in. I guess
he's a funny dude.
Last 40%, 35% of the season he came in. We hung out a lot. Great guy. He was in Singapore. Like, I posted something that I was there. He also played with David Stockton with Team USA at one point. So he knew we were there, and he messaged me. He was like, "How long are you in Singapore?" And I was like, "Till Monday." Like, why? He's like, "We have a preseason game there on Saturday."
Is he the one that you randomly saw in the airport, like in Germany once too?
Yeah.
Like randomly on a layover?
Weird. Yeah.
Like you were coming from Serbia, right?
No,
and he
from
was
Germany.
From Germany. So you saw him actually, in Germany.
Yeah. So what's crazy is we played together in Italy. David and he had played together the year before with Team USA. So we both knew him in Germany when I was playing with David. Then David and I had the same flight schedule back home to America from Germany. And we ran into Taylor in the airport in the Frankfurt airport. We had a layover there to go to Seattle. He had a layover there going to Israel. And like we ran
So
into, I mean, like
crazy.
so random. And then all of a sudden I see him in Singapore. So the two
Like,
times,
what are the odds? What are the odds
the
that
two times I've
happens?
seen the guy,
He was going to
seen the
Israel. You
guy.
were going to America.
Yeah. And we ran into each other in Germany. And
Yeah,
then we run
that's crazy.
into each other in Singapore.
In
'cause
Singapore.
He's playing with a Taiwanese team and they have a preseason exhibition game.
So random.
And I'm playing with the G League Ignite and we have a tournament there. Like same stadium, same hotel, everything. So like very random, but that was, you know, it was fun reconnecting. We went and walked around the city a little bit, got some dinner, a couple of the nights. So that was really, really fun. I'd say those are my highlights, but awesome
Yeah,
trip.
that's awesome.
It's fun. It's fun getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
like,
just seeing new places.
For sure. And like traveling as a team, you know, like, because when we're here at home, everyone kind of does their own thing. They're with their family, their friends, their routine,
you guys are
in their
forced to
apartment.
be together.
Yeah, kind of like
24/7 on the road.
Yeah. So that was fun. Singapore was a lot of fun. Like I said, then we came home, just kind of dealing with this knee thing, waiting and giving it time to heal. It didn't heal. We did go home to Utah for a little bit. That was another, talk about travel. I landed from Singapore. We drove to Utah. That's like an hour later.
Too much.
And by we, I mean me.
Hey, I offered to drive. You just won't. You're just scared of me driving or something. You're scared of anyone else driving but yourself.
Maybe just you.
No, I'm a good driver. I'm a good driver.
Frickin'.
No, he landed at like 2 or 2:30 or something. He got home PM. Landed at like 2, got home at like 2:30. And then we just left like 20 minutes later. We jumped in the car and drove 6 hours to Utah. But it always ends up being like 9 hours because of
No, I feel like going up
maybe.
wasn't bad. Going up wasn't bad. It was coming back down to Vegas was a lot.
Probably because we were driving late at night, so they were asleep.
Yeah.
We just need to do that. But yeah, got there. You're exhausted, jet lagged for days.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was perfect fall weather, Utah weather. Like we were there for the only week of fall that Utah gets.
Saw a bunch of friends. Obviously, all our family went to a football game.
Jojo had a little birthday party.
Jojo had his little second birthday party. We had a big bounce house with a bunch of friends and cousins for him. So that was fun. I think that was
loved it.
Being back home.
He loved it. Yeah, it was like last minute. It was we thought he only had a week off. And so we were planning on staying in Utah for like 5 days. And then like the day before we were about to leave, his team gave him another week off. And so we decided to stay, and we're like, oh, let's throw a last minute birthday party in like 2 days. So that was awesome.
It was. But we got it. It was nice. Got a little pinata action.
The bounce house.
Pizza, way too much pizza. I got like 10 pizzas from Costco. Luckily, they're cheap.
Way too much candy in the pinata.
I think my brother, the pinata was 20 pounds of candy, and Gabby wanted more. I think Kyle, my brother,
the candy was all gone at the end, though. The kids ate all the candy, so
of course
it was enough.
Of course.
The only thing that was left were the Twizzlers.
Went home with like 3 pizzas. So yeah, those nasty Twizzlers. Kyle got some free pizzas. I've been trying to say that like 4 times, so I'm sure that you guys have heard me.
Sorry. I keep cutting you off.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, and then just came back here, gave it another shot on my knee. Figured it wasn't going to go, so we had surgery, but kind of already hit on that. I was thinking we could.
You want to get a little.
There's not much more.
You're excited for season 2. Season 2 of Now for Later is going to come out the beginning of the year.
Oh yeah,
January.
For sure.
Yeah,
I think first or second week of January.
An awesome lineup so far.
I mean, so far we have 9 yeses out of 10.
Yeah,
out of 20.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
They're
if I want to.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not yet.
No,
I don't know. It's up to you.
We could give a couple that are scheduled.
A couple that are scheduled. Okay.
So we have yeses from like really, really amazing people, which is cool. The 3 that we already have scheduled.
Yeah, just do those 3.
Actually, there's 5 that are scheduled. 2 are just kind of like. There's 6 that are scheduled. 3 that are like.
Okay, just spit it out.
Okay, so
you're
on
like
Friday,
4, no 5, no 2.
On Friday we have Garrett G, who most people know
Bucket List.
Yeah, the Bucket List family. And most people won't know that he actually played college soccer at BYU. while he was building out his business that he sold for a huge amount of money that then boosted his family to say, hey, let's start traveling the world. And I obviously don't know their story great. We'll get it from them at the end of this week, but I think they were planning on just being on the road for like a year or something like that. Now it's turned into like 6 or something. Like they're just,
yeah, I think I followed them on Instagram during that time, and
yeah,
they just sold everything. We're traveling the world, and
still going.
it just kept on like kept getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
and just kept
So he'll be fun. He'll be fun because he's doing something with his family. It's really cool. Something that Gab and I have actually talked about, sailing around the world when our kids are a little older. So I'm excited to hear about that. Started a company while he was playing soccer in college. So yeah, we have him at the end of this week, which by the time this episode comes out, a couple of days will have passed. And then Danny Ainge will have next week. And then Danny Ainge, the BYU and NBA legends, pretty much one of the greatest GMs of all time. Anyone will agree to that. He just
currently for the Jazz.
Currently for the Jazz, he just knows how to swindle people, man. Like he gets really good picks and good returns on every single trade, and
the swindler.
He looks like a genius constantly. So excited to have him. He's a longtime family friend, and then also very excited about Jesser, who is a YouTuber. He'll be cool. He'll be a really interesting take because he has such a big YouTube channel. He has 15 million subscribers, but he's a hooper. Like he loves basketball. His videos are all about basketball. He played basketball for as long as he could at a high level, and now he's turned it into another way to make money and stay relevant. So very, very cool. And actually, I met him through Ignite. He came and did a video here, and then you were gonna probably get. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, the basketball event, the YouTuber basketball event you went to, or game.
Yeah, so that's how we solidified it. I had met him at the Australia games, the fall. What do they call that? The fall opener or something like that. He came and helped promote the game. I met him there. We did like a little shooting competition. I don't even know if he ever posted it. I was the only guy on the team that he beat. Unfortunately, it was a close call, but he did beat me. But he's a good shooter.
You're the only guy. You're the only guy he beat, or the only guy he played?
No, I was the only guy he beat. I told him.
Every other guy beat him, but you.
Yeah, but he's a good shooter. I'm not like some shooter.
Okay.
He barely beat me. Back off.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I would say, I'm the only one he beat.
Well, I told him when I was walking out, I was like, I'm going to probably be your only win. So I guess that tells you where my confidence level was. But he beat me.
You shot yourself in the foot there.
We talked a little bit after that. But then, I got invited. Ignite, they're trying to build a fan base. They're trying to make connections. They're trying to reach out to the community and be involved in different areas. So, I asked to be one of those people that gets sent places and meets people, and on Ignite's behalf, sort of start building this brand. Also, because it would, help me build my brand with the podcast as well. So, I got asked to go do this YouTuber and streamer 3-on-3 event, which was really cool. So you had it was put on by the #1 Call of Duty player in the world right now, and he just invited a bunch of his buddies, and they played 3-on-3 at the Hardwood Suite at the Palms Resort. And I was like a sideline reporter in between games. So that was really fun.
Awesome.
It was really fun. And Jesser was there, so that's when I kind of cornered him. And I was like,
random.
Hey, come on the show. Like, you're going to bring a really unique perspective, and some really good advice on.
I'm excited for his.
If you're thinking about, building something like this, like a podcast or a YouTube or an Instagram, like, how do you do that? Tell us about the consistency and the first steps and what a day in your life looks like, and so I think he's going to be really cool because he has a huge following. I mean, I put him on my story and was like, oh, something cooking with Jesser or something. And my agent, who lives in Cyprus, responded, my European agent, and he was like,
he knows
I didn't tell you this. Yeah, he was like, I've seen every single one of this. He was like, Eric, I kid you not, I've seen every single one of his videos like 3 times.
He's like, I'm his #1 fan.
No, he said his son is obsessed, has him on constantly.
Oh my gosh.
And someone else I was talking to, I was like, yeah, Jesser's coming on the show. They're like, oh, that's so cool. I saw him at Summer League sitting courtside, and he was mobbed by kids like constantly. I mean, like he's really, really big on YouTube. And so it'll be fun to
Doesn't he have
kinda
like a
hear his perspective.
basketball clothing line or something?
Yeah, he does. Called
I was kind of
well, I
looking
think
at his profile
his crew is
after
called
you
like
posted
Bucket.
that.
His brand is called Bucket Squad, and he has like a court with all the logos, and then he has shorts and shirts and merch, and then I think he just designed his first shoe that just came out recently, which
That's
is really cool.
crazy.
I mean,
That's crazy.
he's
So
big
he's
time.
into it.
Big
He's
time.
in it deep.
He's into it. So we have those three like actual days and times.
Those are great. Great
fixed.
people.
The other three, we'll just
maybe you can
update.
talk about them next. Yeah.
Really, really big time people. I mean, like
Those are going to be the
have
first
won.
three released, though. You think?
No, I don't know if they'll be first three released. We need to kind of figure out the
But they're
order.
in the
But those will be the
second
first
season
recorded.
sometime.
Yeah. But we have Medal of Honor winners, gold medal winners. We have national champ. Like, I mean, everyone
got it all.
Everyone that's coming on the show is exponentially cooler than me, and I'm pretty cool. So it's gonna be awesome.
You're exponentially cooler than me, so I'm just like,
yeah, there you go.
To the next level.
So to the next level of Gabby, to give you guys an idea. But yeah, excited about season 2. We got a new mic, we got some new stuff so that we can do it all here in
biggest
Vegas.
Update, new mic,
new partnerships that'll come out starting season 2, sponsorships and things like that. So things are kind of cooking, which is a lot of fun. I'm jumping into more shows. I'm going to probably do a show with Gig. I did a podcast with them when we were back in Utah. I did a podcast with Gig, with Scott Warner at Gig, and then with Jimmy Rex. Now Jimmy's studio is actually going to start producing for us, and Gig is going to help us with our sponsorships. Scott asked me to do a show with him once a month. Just kind of like,
you're just becoming a podcast guy.
I'm just becoming a podcast guy, yeah. And I'm doing an Ignite show as well.
Now.
And Ignite asked me to do it. Yeah, we're trying to think of names. I think the winner right now is Ignite at Night. I don't know why, but it feels right.
It's so funny. Like, you're doing so many different types of podcasts too.
Yeah. We've got like this one, which is kind of more like educational, motivational, inspirational.
Business-y.
Although we'll talk about that. I think there's going to be a little bit of a shift going into the second season. But then maybe we'll talk about that, like the season finale, and obviously. But then you have the Ignite at Night, which is just me and Amir Johnson, the assistant coach. He's like a 16-year NBA vet, where we just get to know the players. So people get an inside look at Ignite, which is going to be also very, very cool. Because you have some really, really cool stories, unique individuals that have been brought together by this team. We did a dry run a couple of weeks ago, and it was a blast. And then, Scott Warner's will just be kind of like shooting the breeze, talking to random people, anyone we find interesting. That's very, very early on in the ideating phase. But his initial thought was, hey, why don't you bring someone interesting on one month, and then the next month I bring someone interesting, and we just kind of sit there and chat and make good content. We had a really fun episode that I think there's like a good there's good chemistry like right off the bat with us too, and so that show could be great. So I'm just doing podcast stuff every day now. Like I just love it.
Podcasts on podcasts.
Just trying to break into this world of
it's fun.
Podcasting and broadcasting and social media, like just somewhere in the content world. I think
a talker.
I'm a good talker. You would know. You ignore me most of the time because I just talk so much.
Oh, please stop. No.
No.
Don't even. I do not ignore you, but you're a good talker.
You ignore me constantly, but I love you. But something just kind of in like the not social, but like the content world. I think there's a space for me. I think there's a space for us. So we're just going to see what we can find, just keep having fun with it. I think we're doing a good job of that.
It's awesome. It's great. Excited for season 2.
We are having fun with it, with the Halloween costumes. Do you want to talk about that?
The Halloween costumes.
And we can finish with this.
Well, we just kind of got too into this Halloween costume kind of run we went on. We we originally had to get a Halloween costume for this Halloween party, and we didn't know last minute. Just looked on Amazon Prime what's going to get here next day because it was the day before
And it was last minute because we couldn't find a babysitter. We finally found
it wasn't
one,
a last minute party.
Crap.
We thought we weren't going to be able to go because we couldn't find a babysitter. Day
Well,
before,
we found one.
we're like, oh, we found a babysitter. And so I didn't get a costume before I knew we could go because I didn't want to get a costume if we couldn't go. And so then that night, literally like 10 p.m., I'm looking on Amazon, what's going to get here tomorrow before the party. So we were Yoda and Luke Skywalker. I was in the swamp version. Yoda on his back. We walk in to the party and the first thing someone says, oh, it's Yoda sitting in a tree. Because Eric was wearing like all brown, like a brown cargo pants and a brown tank top because that's what Luke wears. And it was just hilarious. We're like, oh, okay, that costume probably didn't translate. But then after that, we made a video. No, it did. For the Star Wars fans, it did. And then after that, we just kind of got excited about our costume. And we did a couple others. We did Lucius Malfoy and Dobby and Fiona, ogre version. Eric was the ogre version of Fiona. But you love Shrek. Shrek is your favorite movie, I swear. Shrek. And then I was Lord Farquaad, of course. It was fun. We had a good Halloween. We had a long Halloween. We were celebrating Halloween all of October because of JoJo.
Yeah.
But it was a fun Halloween. Like last night was Halloween. We didn't even do anything. We didn't trick or treat. No. We didn't dress up. We didn't do anything because we were just so Halloweened out at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It was a giant month of JoJo and Halloween celebration. Lots of
it's a good month.
Trunk or treating. October's a great month. Trunk or treating, multiple pumpkin patches, lots of candy. We went to
a Mexican carnival.
Yep, that was fun.
The carnival, it was. We got some tamales, awesome. Some good food,
pupusas,
fun rides, pupusas, the street corn,
all that good stuff. I mean, we also couldn't trick or treat last night because I got knee surgery, so it's not like I was gonna leave the house.
I wasn't too bummed about it though.
No, I wasn't either. I don't think we would have done anything, but that is all we got today.
Yeah, I think that's a great update.
If you made it the whole way, then bless you.
To the ranting.
What's something we could sneak in? We're thinking about doing like a giveaway this week. What's a secret word that if they listen to the episode and they hear this word, then they could enter it to win our gift?
Shrek.
Shrek is so comment the secret word on a video. We're still trying to hash out the details, but we're gonna
or
give
like
away.
A story, a story,
or a story, yeah. Or share. So not everyone video. Can see I don't know. We're gonna figure it out, but it'll be fun. That's
you're thinking about a giveaway this week. So
yeah, we're gonna do some cool shorts and maybe some kind of like product from a company that we're thinking about doing something with. So that's the secret word, Shrek. That's it for us.
Maybe Shrek, they'll get like more entries or something. If they say the keyword Shrek. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We have a secret word in there. That's what matters.
Do you like that secret word?
Yeah, it's perfect. It's great.
Okay.
So that's it from us. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Now for Later podcast. I'm your host, joined by my lovely co-host, Gabrielle Mika, the love of my life.
Nice.
Do you want to lead us out by saying your 10 favorite things about me?
Yeah. I'll wait and I'll tell you that later.
Nice. Thank you. No, but really, thank you for listening. I forgot to say this at the beginning. I just want to finish each episode with please rate and review. If you haven't yet, please do it. It's huge for the algorithm. It helps us out a lot as people are searching for sports podcasts, for sports business podcasts, for anything related to the Now for Later podcast. It will pop up more if you've left a rating and a review, and maybe we'll make part of that part of the giveaways that we're going to start doing as well. I don't know, but regardless of the giveaway or not, please please do it. It'll help us out a lot. Thank you so much for listening. Go hit us up on Instagram. We're always on there. We love hearing from you guys. And that's it. So thanks for listening.